Hey folks, welcome to the 95th episode of Geeking Out. Now, we're still looking for ideas for our 100th episode coming at the end of October. It's our Halloween Spectacular. So we want to know what you guys and girls would like to see.
From anywhere from us all reviewing the same books, or...
To me doing superhero books, to Crystal coming in like Kanye West and interrupting us all.
Yes, so...
Whatever you want to see, we want to know.
Yes, so make sure that you send in your suggestions to Geeking Out. Hey gang, it's Leila here from the Comic Connection with this week's comic book reviews. First up, we've got Wolverine Giant Size Old Man Logan #1, which is the continuing or the final wrap-up of the Wolverine story that has been in limbo for a while, written by Mark Millar and art by Steve McNiven. So in the conclusion, the Hulk gang has killed his family and now Logan is out for revenge, and he gets a lot of bloody revenge in this one. This wrap-up is basically just a bunch of fighting and blood, and it really earns the parental advisory on the front, but it sort of followed off with a ho-hum payoff for me. Like, this series could have gone in a whole different direction that would have been kind of cool, but it basically ends off with what, you know, if they did a movie about this, it would be like Clint Eastwood playing Wolverine riding off into the sunset. That's what it all felt like to me. Which, you know, the hero is beaten but not broken, and yeah, that's sort of uplifting, I guess, but it wasn't kind of the ending to the series that I wanted. You know, we had to wait a long time for this, and it was only okay. Next up, we've got Superman Secret Origin, #1 of 6, written by Jeff Johns with art by Gary Frank. And this one, yes, it's another Superman origin story, but there are some interesting parts and that are pretty cool, including why Clark wears glasses and the design of the Superman costume, his relationship with Lana, and his chance encounter with Lex Luthor as a youth in Smallville. Also, we see a little bit about Lex's background, and it's not the one that you would necessarily think. I enjoyed this. I really liked it. Again, it's another origin story, and you'd think, oh, that's been done before, but this was really cleverly drawn and written. It harkened back to the first Superman movie for me with the look and the feel of it, and it was more about Clark than about Superman, which was really good. What was also notable is that Krypton, Jor-El, and the name Kal-El are all mentioned, so this wasn't sort of the origin retelling that I thought they were going to get after the whole Schuster lawsuit thing. So we'll see how it all plays out, but I really liked this one. Great job by Jeff Johns. Next up, we've got Blackest Night Superman, #2 of 3. This one's written by James Robinson with the art by Eddie Barrows. In this one, Psycho Pirate shows up in Smallville, manipulates the feelings of the town to suit the plans of the Black Lanterns. Meanwhile, Superman and Connor continue the fight against the Black Lantern, Superman, and Lois, and even Ma Kent gets into the action. Oh yeah. Meanwhile, on Kandor, Kara faces the resurrected version of her father. I gotta say, I really liked this. I like the whole dark Superman thing that the Black Lantern stories get to accomplish. It's the most interesting part to me. The art in this is really awesome. The action just jumps off the page. So definitely a book that you should pick up as part of one of the Blackest Night tie-ins that are really worthwhile to read. And last but not least, we've got Dark Reign Made Men one-shot. This one's written by Frank Thierry. There's 5 different stories, all written by him, but there's different artists for each. So the 5 stories are about sort of men on the fringe who dangle on both sides of the line between good and evil. The first one's Spy Master, where a well-known thief is recruited by Norman Osborn to, you know, different results. The second one's called Atuma, and he's defeated and then resurrected by a would-be ally, who we all know, but can he lay down his sword and become one of his subjects? The third story is Jack-O-Lantern, and a killer makes a pact with Satan and becomes the new Jack-O-Lantern, who is rescued from the police custody by none other than Norman Osborn. Surprise, surprise. The fourth story is called Gamma Corps, and here Norman recruits the Gamma Corps into Hammer to be an elite force of bounty hunters answering only to him, and their mission is to bring in superhuman traders. And the last one was called The Enforcer, and this one the Hood makes Mike Nero, aka The Enforcer, an offer to become part of his team and be an expert on the supernatural. Overall, I really liked the book. Some stories were better than others, but I particularly like the ones about Spy Master, Atuma, and The Enforcer. They were pretty cool. It was different to see how Dark Reign has had an effect on lesser characters in the Marvel Universe, so definitely a pretty good Dark Reign tie-in.
Hey folks, Jim here with this week's comic reviews, and this week it's all viewer send-ins, so thank you guys for sending in. And don't forget, we're always looking for comic books to review, so send them in please. First up, The Possum, #4 by Blair Kinch. In this one, the Possum has to try to escape the Mexican smackdown he's receiving any way he possibly can. And if he can, is there something worse waiting for him? Another fantastic issue by Blair Kitchen. Another really good book. I cannot recommend this book enough. It's fantastically written, fantastically drawn, cartoonishly. It's like Sergio Aragonés meets Brian LeMay, as I said in my last review for this series. And I can't really say anything better because it's just fantastic. And next up, we have his brother. Spy Guy #1 by Mike Kitchen. And in this one, Spy Guy is hot on the case and will soon have to face his greatest challenge yet, the escaped criminals Spud and Harry. Another really great first issue by Mike Kitchen, stylistically, very cartoonish, very, I'd say, Batman the Animated Series, with a bit of, what's the word, damn. It's just that good, honestly. It's a good book. I can't really put the words together to show you just how good a book it is, but you're going to enjoy it if you pick it up. And last, and unfortunately certainly least, is Fazeman #1 by Faisal Lodi and Mark Baker. And in this one, when young Michael Bennett is fatally shot, he is reborn as Middletown's newest hero, Fazeman. But can he stop the evil plans of Dr. Eggnox? Let's hope not, because unfortunately this comic goes nowhere fast. Not to be mean to Faze, I like you, you're a good friend, but your writing's terrible on this book, and writing is the first cornerstone of a comic. The art is passable, but very amateurish. So I really can't recommend this book for anyone, but I do appreciate that you tried, and I can respect that. So if you want to try it out, but I can't recommend it to really anyone.